Good morning, Bella Vista. It's time for In the Know. I'm here with Tom Judson, our CEO.
Yes, how are you today?
I am great. You know what? We always try to go over everything we do in the board meetings, but we had a really informative board meeting last time.
I agree.
We really did. So I think it's time to share that with everybody.
I agree.
So do you mind kind of taking us through how the board is not the board, but the POA, the business model?
Yeah.
And how we operate?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do it.
But I'm going to have to give you a pop quiz, though.
Oh, no.
And I'm sure you were the type that loved pop quizzes in high school, I'm sure.
I did, actually, and I always sat on the front row and I always got all the answers right.
I was the opposite. So, quick pop quiz is, what is our mission?
Well, I would think it would have something to do with taking care of our members.
That's pretty good. It's enhancing the lives of our members.
There you
That's
go.
what our job is. So now we do this in a variety of different ways, but we do this primarily by providing a wide variety of great quality amenities at a reasonable price. And then when I talk about price or cost, I'm talking about the assessments and also the amenity usage fees. We have some amenities that you have to pay for, golf, and other amenities that you don't have to pay for, parks and so forth.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
So now, what is our goal as a POA? And so I'm going to give you a multiple guess question. Is it to spend money recklessly and have the membership subsidize everything through high assessments and high amenity usage fees? What do you think of that one?
I think some people think that's what happens,
but
I don't think that's how we operate.
Or is our goal to make a profit and charge really high assessments and high fees?
Well, actually, we are a nonprofit or a not-for-profit.
We are not-for-profit.
Right.
Yeah. We're a 501c4.
4.
Yeah. So option number 3 on your guessing scale is use good business practices to provide good quality amenities while limiting assessments and fees as much as reasonably possible, balancing subsidizing amenities with fees assessments charged.
As a member, I like that one.
Yep. I mean, these amenities cost us, but we want to charge as little as possible. And we want to try and hit that reasonable balance. And reasonable is always a hard thing to strike. And so, on your screen right now, and we're looking at this on paper, but you have the subsidy set spectrum. So you have municipalities on the left side, and many municipalities have parks. Some have municipal golf courses, maybe a pool and so forth, and they subsidize that. You know, they might charge a fee, but cities usually charge a really ridiculously low fee. That's not really covering much of anything.
Yes.
On the other side is for-profit businesses, and they want to make a money, and they don't like to subsidize anything at all. And so that's the opposite end of the spectrum. The POA is right in the middle. We're in the happy middle there. And that's how we get to the point of we want to try and charge reasonable assessments and reasonable amenity usage fees, but providing a wide array. And I bring this up because so many people, I think I looked it up on Google, it was like 70% of people work for a for-profit company. So they have a very for-profit mindset. And we have that mindset to a certain extent, but it's more of a good business practices mindset. We try and make profit where we can to reduce it. So let's put our for-profit hat on. Okay. So we're going to think in a for-profit manner.
I did that for 30 years. I can do that.
So if we were a for-profit company, how many golf courses would we have? So would we have 7 golf courses? The perfect number, the more golf courses you have, the more options and variety the members have. If you're for profit, probably not. That's a lot of golf courses. Would you have 5, maybe just the 18-holers and close the 9-holers? Or if you're for profit, you would probably have only 2 or 3.
Yes.
And you'd probably raise the fees. If you were truly for profit, So clearly we're not. So 7 is an outstanding number because we're a POA.
And there's a variety of those golf courses.
It's a variety. We have 5 18 holes and 2 9 holes, and we provide our membership with a great variety, and we charge a reasonable price. But I'm just highlighting that if we were for-profit, the environment would look very different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we were for-profit, we're still using that same mindset. How many fitness centers would we have? Would we have 3? Well, probably not. Fitness centers don't bring in a lot of money, especially when you're charging $30 a year for an activity card. That's not a lot of money. Would you bring it down to 1? Possibly. But if you were for-profit, you'd probably bring it down to 0.
Yes.
Yeah. But we're a POA once again. So we want to have 3, which we have them regionally based, and we have a big one in the middle, which accommodates a lot of our members' needs. All right, we have 2 more mindsets. Mm-hmm. How many lakes would we have if we were for-profit? I don't think we would have 7. We'd have a lot less. Don't know how you close a lake.
Pull the plug.
Yeah, pull the plug. That's going to go over well. A couple lawsuits after that. But if you were for-profit, you probably wouldn't have any lakes at all. I mean, we charge for boat registrations, but that doesn't cover nearly the cost.
No.
But we're a POA once again. Next one is restaurants. Well, restaurants are different than the other amenities. No, they're not. They're another amenity for us that we offer.
Is that a picture of Scott? No.
Yeah, that's Tommy when he's pissed at me.
Oh, Tommy. Okay, never mind.
But I think, what is that, Gordon Ramsay?
Yes.
Something like that. I got that off the internet. So if we were a for-profit corporation, how many restaurants would we have? We probably wouldn't have 3. We probably only have 1 or 2. And we would have less variety for our members. And that's one of the biggest complaints that our members talk to us about is they want more variety. They want more restaurants in Bella Vista and so forth. Not just in the POA, but in general.
Exactly.
Once again, we're a POA, so we're gonna offer multiple restaurants, 3 right now, and pretty soon we're gonna have a 4th with BV65 opening up. So what is the declaration? Our governing documents, our original documents that go back to 1965. What do they say about it? Well, I'm not going to read all this stuff because it's already on the screen, but they contemplate it. So this is about a 30-page document, and the very second paragraph in the entire thing talks about that we are an amenities-based community. So from the very beginning, they've talked about it. And then later on, they talk about the purpose of assessments. I'm going to throw in amenity usage fees in that. But the purpose of those assessments, in short, is assessments and fees are intended to be used to subsidize amenities for the benefit of our membership. All this information is available on our website.
Yep.
So if you don't trust me, go look it up yourself. The word subsidy is never used, but it's there. It's there. Okay, here's the rest of the pop quiz. What is the most used amenity in the POA?
I think a lot of people would say, because it's been around the longest, I think a lot of people would say golf. But, our life is different now. So what do you think?
Well, it's trail usage. So
well, of course it is.
In 2023, we had 309,000 uses of our trails. And they have trip counters or, trail counters. They're only on about half our trails. So that number is probably around 500,000. Mm-hmm. Okay. So coming in second is golf. You talked about golf. Mm-hmm. Golf's a very important part of our amenity, our array of amenities. 203,000. And this year we're even trending higher than that, which is great. So we talked about trails, we talked about golf. So what do you think is the third most popular amenity in our community?
Well, I know what my favorite is, and that's the food and beverage.
You're right. So there's 192,000 covers in 2023. Mm-hmm. So a cover is, if I go to the restaurant, I get a beer and a hamburger, that's 1 cover. So even though I got 2 things, that's 1.
But if I brought Bruce with
Why
me,
would you bring Bruce?
Well, then there's that. But
Okay.
If he had a hamburger.
Yes.
So that's two?
That's two covers because you and Bruce went with you. So now what's interesting is in next year, or this year, how am I doing? This year, with the opening of a BV65, it's probably restaurant covers is probably going to go into the number 2 slot ahead of golf. Then fitness came next with 178,000. And I'm just looking at BVRC, Metfield, and Branchwood. And BVRC was closed for most of that year, so that number is depressed. Gun range, another golf, at 77,000. That's going to go up once we open up Tanya Creek. And the beach at 48,000.
So now, that's Tanya Creek, not the gun range.
I'm sorry, that's all the driving range at 77. That's all 3 of the driving ranges.
Okay.
But keep in mind that it's probably going to go up once Tanya Creek opens.
Gotcha.
And then pools and beach at 48,000. So boy, all you had to go is go out and look at the beach on the 4th of July, and oh my God, a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And then activity card, kind of not really amenity usage, but it gets you into the amenity uses at 20,300. The RV park, campground, tiny cabins at 17,700. The gun range at 10,800. And it was closed for part of the year because we're renovating, and tennis at 9,200. So that gives us a grand total of 1,065,000.
Yep.
Now, what that doesn't include is there's certain things that are just either hard to track, or we're just not going to have someone go out there with a clipboard. But you got to think of like lake use. I mean, we track boat registrations, but we don't track how many times they go on the lake. Pickleball, those are very popular. Parks, beach volleyball, the putt-putt golf, all those things we don't track. So you start adding those numbers in. I mean, we're probably at, I don't know, 1.3, 1.45 million. You know, it's amazing.
Yep.
And what's also amazing is none of those activities are in the majority. None of them are number one. They're more uses, but it doesn't mean that we are no longer just one dimensional. We are a very active community, which is outstanding.
Well, think about it. We've got much more younger families now, and you know the demographics have changed significantly.
Absolutely. So let's talk about subsidies. We talked about subsidies earlier. And so golf is actually subsidized. Well, what do you mean it's subsidized? I pay my golf fees and I have my golf membership. What do you mean it's subsidized? Well, when we have 7 golf courses, our expenses are more than our revenue. But this is the whole point behind a POA is we subsidize. So don't lose focus that if we were a for-profit golf company, we'd have only 2 or 3 golf courses, not 7. So we subsidized the golf last year, $1.9 million. Now, what's interesting is I like to point out that last year we brought in $2.2 million in non-member golf play.
That's a very important.
So if we got rid of that, boy, our subsidy would skyrocket. So then we're going to have to raise rates for our members, or lower the quality, or close a golf course.
Right.
So pick your poison.
Well, and a golf course, I would think, would be a lot of maintenance and a lot of upkeep, like constant. So there's a lot of expense there to make it good for our members.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next most subsidized amenity is recreation at $660,000. So that included fitness, pools, beach, tennis, trails, everything. 660. Lakes. Well, lakes can't be subsidized a lot. It's just water, huh? Nope. $534,000. We got to put the fish in there. It's not a natural lake. It's an artificial lake. So we have to put them in there. We have to fertilize. We have to pay the lake rangers, all that stuff. And then last on what we subsidized is restaurants, $229,000.
That's not a lot.
It's not a lot compared to the other ones. Now, our goal with restaurants is always to break even, and we will continue to do that as our goal. But we have to be realistic So here's another part of the pop quiz.
Oh boy.
Okay. Here are the 4 elements of a successful POA restaurant.
Okay.
We're not talking about, the Olive Garden, a totally different environment, but a POA restaurant. Our membership wants good quality food.
Yep.
Okay. Good quality service.
Yes.
Reasonable prices.
Yes.
And profitable operation.
Can I only choose 3 of those?
But you can only choose 3.
Okay.
Not all 4.
Well, that's a given.
Yeah, you can't charge what we charge and expect to not subsidize. So here's the downfall. So if you said, well, of the 3 that I can select, I'm not going to select food quality.
Oh, you won't have any customers.
You lower the food quality. Mm-hmm. I mean, it saves money. And you go to some restaurants and the food quality is,
yeah,
or service quality. You can have fewer people there, fewer bus people, maybe fewer chefs, so forth. And that's never good.
Service is really important. And the people we have are servers and such. I mean, we eat there because of them sometimes. They have great personalities.
Absolutely.
And the service is great. So you're a little more, sometimes more lenient or more like, it's okay. Bring me another drink and I'll be fine.
Now, the other one we could look at is raising prices. We all know. So Alice and I go down to Bentonville every once in a while. Mm-hmm. Beer's $2 more. Mm-hmm. You get a burger's like $3 or $4 more. Mm-hmm. And for the burger, when I eat here, I get the 10% off. So not only is it less, we're giving a discount.
Yes.
Well, you want us to make a profit? Well, let's get rid of the 10% discount, or let's raise our prices to a higher level.
No, I don't.
We don't want to do that, no. But those are reasonable approaches.
Yes.
Or we could take a little bit of we could slightly lower the food quality, slightly lower the service quality, raise the prices. No, all these things,
You know what? It's a balance, Tom.
It's a balance. Absolutely. So that we end up subsidizing just a little bit. So I'm not making excuses. We can do better, but let's keep in mind all the things that make it challenging. So the original goal was to break even in 3 or 4 years for our food and beverage operations. We haven't hit that goal. We've gotten close, but we haven't hit that goal. But the board has also said that we're going to give the operation a little bit more time. Mm-hmm. And maybe our goal to break even is no longer 100% break even. Maybe it's 229,000 is a reasonable number.
There you go.
So let's look at our increase in covers. So we've gone from in 2020, which was impacted by COVID. So you got to almost throw out those numbers. We had 143,000 covers in 2020, went up to 160,000 in 21. In 23, we went up to 182 and then 192 this past year. And we're trending above that in 2024. So you've seen that we're on an uphill rise in those. COVID screws up the first year a little bit, but so at the end of the day, our goal is to enhance the lives of our members, and we've done that with 1,065,000 uses, if not a lot more than that.
Right.
So we enhance the lives of our members through offering a wide array of amenities. That's awesome. All the amenities that we offer is just crazy. Through subsidizing our amenities, we accomplish this goal. Through offering amenities such as parks, a dog park, pickleball, and other amenities that have no financial return on investment. I remember a board member asking, well, what's the ROI on a park? 0?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then through offering good quality amenities at a reasonable price, we were able to accomplish the goal of enhancing the lives of our members. So it's a different business model than a lot of people are used to.
Yes.
There's not a lot of people that have worked for a POA in their life.
No.
Some have worked for cities. A lot have worked for for-profits. Very few are in that in-between. And so it's a different business structure, and it takes a little while for people to get their arms around it.
And a regular nonprofit business is really just focused on one thing. You're focused on one thing, enhancing the lives of the members, but look at all the pieces of the puzzle that you have to put together to make that happen.
Yeah. And we're not one-dimensional.
No.
I mean, did anybody think of pickleball 20 years ago?
No.
But all of a sudden, that's all the rage.
Yeah.
Clearly wasn't in the governing documents. It wasn't in the declaration. I wonder when it was invented. I don't know that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't included in the declaration. But it's an important part of what we are now. And fast forward 10 years, I wonder what the next big thing's going to be.
Well, just little things that are coming to mind, like the disc golf thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's popular. It's just, I love the way that the board
Mm-hmm.
and you and your folks that make this happen every day always are coming up with, what if we did this?
Absolutely. We want to push that envelope, and many times it works.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it doesn't, but then you can learn from it.
Yeah.
But, I'm really proud of the team. I'm really proud of the board. I'm really proud of what we have to offer to our membership and how we're able to keep it at a reasonable price.
Right. And another thing I'd like to say is, members, most of you have been able to experience this. You can always talk to Tom. You can always talk to any of us, really, but mostly to Tom. And he's really good. I don't know what you do. You stay up all night answering emails and phone calls?
Sometimes it feels that way.
Yeah, I'm sure. But, come on. Instead of just wondering, come to the meetings, talk to us. I wonder how the members would do on this pop quiz. Maybe we ought to do that more. Anyway, thank you, Tom.
Well, I would hope they do better than you, because you did horrible.
Listen to him.
Horrible.
Listen to him. Well, I was, yeah. All right. Well, you know what? I hope that this helps a lot of folks get a better idea of what's going on. And if it brings up other questions, fabulous.
Absolutely.
So, well, thank you, Bella Vista. We will see you next time for In the Know. In the meantime, go take up a new sport like pickleball.
There you go.
Take care.